Hello everybody,
Hi!
and welcome to the Rebooted Reviews. Today I'll be going over set number 70786, Gali Master of Water. This set contains 87 pieces. Oops, forgot the skull spider. I'm gonna go get that. But until then, I'm gonna introduce our slightly special, I'm not sure if special guest, Agent D.
Hi! Oh look, there's a skull spider, thank goodness.
Here's Gali, in all of her glory.
Her masking.
We'll get to that later. So, Gali is a very consistent color scheme, which consists of trans blue, dark azure, I enjoy it,
It's an amazing color.
silver, gunmetal, little bits of yellow sprinkled throughout, and this single piece of gold to go with her spear. So, I'm going to pull out a rollout reviews here and look at her construction from the legs up. So, what I like about her construction is that it sprinkles in each limb section pieces of blue. On her shin, she has a transparent bone, but no blue armor. But up here, she has a solid color non-blue bone and a solid color armor shell. Now as we move up, the trend continues in her arms with their blue bone, not blue shell, not blue bone, blue shell. And this is a little pattern, and it's very nice. Also, something to note about the color scheme is, gotta pull in LJ, red pins there, red pins that are actually covered by her mask, like completely.
If I may interject, these red pins are not actually that bad because you can just pull out these yellow pieces if you don't want them there, or just pull out the red stuff. You technically don't need to keep it on there.
True, it's pretty much only there for the combiner model, but you know, that will
Or if you want her to become a mermaid.
Yeah, but we'll get to that when I go over the functions. I kind of like this nice boot effect right here. Also, I noticed that her legs are very, very similar to Ferno Breakout. Just the arrangement of the armor and the length of her legs as well. And it's kind of funny because, you know, Ferno was underwater that year, and Gali is a toa of water. Blue pins aren't too much of an issue, especially considering they're largely covered up. Also, if I go back here, there's a little blue pin back here, but she's already blue, so it's not too much of an issue. Also, under her chest plate, she hides extra gears for friction. So, yeah, these are the new pieces. They're a lot more jumbled than usual. So, first off, recolor. So anyway, we have a buttload of these translucent bone pieces. So we got these with the 2 pinholes, translate blue. We have these with the longest variety that does not have any pinholes, of course in translate blue. And then we have the very tiniest variety of CCBS bone in light trans blue. We have the new dark azure. So we got 4 of these 5 long armor shells. The very last recolor is Gali's chest plate. We've gotten it in this color before, but the printing is new. As with the others, it's slightly scribbly, very abstract, and then there's multiple layers of color, and the light is reflecting too much. There we go. Creating some shadows for more Makuta. It kind of spreads around the yellow a bit. Looks very nice. So now we're going on to new molds. So, right off the bat, skull spider legs. 4 of them. Nobody cares anymore. A skull spider mask / body thingy mabobber.
Nobody cares anymore!
Yeah. Also using Lewa's axe pieces again, this time as fins and parts of the trident in silver, whereas Lewa, it was gunmetal. Add-ons that resemble a toa+mata torso. Oh yeah, the one piece I forgot about almost every review, the gearbox. You know, it's a gearbox. Sorry for not showing it until now. Our final new pieces are the translucent neon yellowish green or greenish yellow. I have no clue anymore. There's so many different fan names for this color. It's just I don't care. Also, new heads, very nice. They actually have a face instead of a hole in their mouth. Now, final thing. The Mask of Water and the Golden Mask of Water.
They stink.
Why?
Alright, so here's my part. They stink because they don't look very feminine. When I go into looking into, like, Gali, because not every woman looks feminine. Their faces don't look like a typical feminine face. You get what I mean.
Like this head. She
the
has
head
the
you can't
exact
do
same
anything
face
about
as
that.
every single character that has a face aside from Law.
See, if you put the mask on, she looks feminine because this, it imitates hips. And this was one thing.
It gives her like an hourglass figure slightly.
This is how you can tell.
Even though POWAAH and POWAAH use the same piece, but it works well for Gali.
Yeah, in order to use this piece properly for female or feminine MOCs, you have to use the right. You have to make it look correct. In this case, it does because she has the hips and the shoulders. Hips and shoulders are in line.
She's also very slender and has long legs.
Yeah,
and she's well proportioned as well.
But the mask, it could be. See, the problem is it's not rounded enough. When you do female characters, like drawing and such, they usually have rounded faces, which is how you can tell when someone is feminine or androgynous, depending on how they're drawn. Because elongated faces are a lot of times androgynous, but
what the heck is androgynous?
It could look like either a guy or a girl.
Okay.
It's just certain things have to determine the gender, like makeup or dresses or such. So, see, this mask, it would probably be better if it weren't so long, because like I said, androgynous faces are long, and sometimes guys' faces are long too.
Like Count Dooku in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, so if they had shortened this chin, it probably would have been better.
Yeah.
And
so she doesn't have a sharp, like, chin that you would expect a goatee to be, and she'd be like, I'm a cunning villain with a backwards hand.
A lot of the fan art that I've seen makes her head more round and kind of like square shape or heart shape, I guess. So the mask is pretty much the only thing that ruins it for me.
Well, I kind of disagree, but then again, this mask is sort of hit or miss. I can understand your reasoning, but I kind of like it. You can see like the aerodynamic / hydrodynamic way that it slows back, kind of like the original Cow, as well as like the air intakes and things, and yeah. So, it's great, mate. 8 out of 8. Let's move on. Although this isn't 2006, we are not going to move along. We're going to stay right here.
Stay right here, where we know it's clear. I literally just wanted to rhyme that.
And we are back. This set does have several functions, of course, as is the draw of many a Bionicle set. The first of which that I shall demonstrate is Gali's mermaid mode. I'm not sure if this was intentional, but because of these red pins, you can stick her feet together, making a sort of mermaid tail. So she can go swimming in the deep like a mermaid. I'm not doing the mermaid swimming cycle correct at all, but I doubt anybody really cares.
It's kind of hard to do with Gali anyway.
Why?
Partly because probably the way you're holding it, and also stop motion would be needed.
Yeah. Another function. If you hit this part on the back of the head, the mask will go flying off into the abyss with Gali's face exposed. It allows this pesky skull spider to attach and take control. But of course, first you gotta decapitate Gali so that way you can put the skull spider on correctly, or at least according to how the box says it should be. Wrap the legs around the head, and now Gali hath been taken over. Now, of course, you can always attempt to dislodge the skull spider. But of course that will not work because the legs are wrapped around. Also, speaking of the legs being wrapped around, the legs kind of restrict articulation. You have to have the torso out kind of far for there to be no issues, and even then it does hit a few snags. She doesn't really have any armor where it would be an issue. Extra armor where it would be an issue, because all the Toa except for Onua have this chest piece. That's all done and everything. Let us remove the skull spider. So, now that Gali has been freed from the skull spider's influence, she can grab this golden mask here, and now her adrenaline mode. So what you gotta do when they come for you is you gotta take this and you just flip the ends. You gotta reverse the polarity. Then you're gonna take these things off her feet, preferably with the black pins. She's having the same exact issue as POWAAH with the pin stickage, which stickage isn't a word, but I don't care. You've got to take out one of these pins. Got to stick it up here, and then what you got to do when they come for you, as I keep making that joke, is stick it up here. Now Gali has this. It's very heavy. When she does the gear function, it instantly flops. This probably should have a friction adder or something so it doesn't flop. But let us see if it is heavier than Onua's hammer. My guess is no, it doesn't feel heavier. I guess it is. Let's try it. Okay, I guess it is as heavy as Onua's hammer. Onua's hammer is actually heavier. Gali can, of course, combine with her protector to form a powered-up Gali. Speaking of the protector and Gali, it's a very good dynamic. You have the yellow on Gali's chest, and all of her gears are yellow, and the yellow in her weapon. I forget what it's called. I haven't been on the website in a while. Plus these giant yellow turbines, and a little bit of yellow in the protector's blaster. Kind of makes that more cohesive. They both contain silver, and they both contain large amounts of translucent blue, which definitely makes them both look like they're made out of water, as I think I've mentioned before. That is about it for this review. If you have not already, it would please us greatly if you would subscribe. Also, be sure to share to get the word out about our channel, and like or dislike if you want. That's okay too. Be sure to post some constructive criticism, because that is always welcome. There's always room for improvement. There's no such thing as perfect. And with that said, my companion and I will sign off.
Yep.
I will see you guys when I review the Gali power-up between these two. Thank you for watching. See you guys then.
Bye!
Adios.